Merry Christmas, everyone. Action Impact number 9. The topic of today is belief. I figured, no better time to talk about belief than Christmas. And, um, the get belief being the acceptance that something exists and putting the energy towards wanting that to exist. I believe out is, the amount of energy that you invest in, what you want to happen or what you enjoy. I think is where belief comes from, and trust, faith, and confidence in someone, one thing, or both. That's the root of belief. Having the confidence and knowing that it's going to come true, or maybe the trust in yourself, or in a higher power to know that that's what you're striving for, and having the faith that it'll come true. um, a lot of times belief can turn you into a crazy person. If that's not real, I don't know what is. um, One thing to think about is, why would you believe in something if you don't want it to become true? And when you look at that, it's like, well, yeah, no, duh, right? But a lot of times your belief will start to slip away when you don't like the end result, or you see, 6 months, a year, 2 years down the future, and you don't like what it holds for you. Then that's the easiest way to lose your belief. um, I figured this was a great topic to cover today because, not only is it the season of believing, but it's the day of belief. And, I encourage everyone to, let's believe all year long. I know for me, a lot of times the Christmas time, it'll jumpstart my faith, and I'm thankful for that. But what happens month 2, 3, 4 months in? It's kind of like a gym membership, and I hate to even put belief in the same category as that, but and a lot of times it's true. Um, One thing about belief in 2020 is, we need to really be careful on what we're accepting as truth. Uh, just with the advances, there's Photoshop and editing, and it's to the point now where they can make a whole video that looks and seems legit, and it's all generated, it's all falsified. And when I look at that and really seeing through the BS and looking at what's true and what to believe in, I think it comes from vibes and the energy and the aura that you feel. Um, for me, those come from a couple different places. Obviously, my head and my brain is trying to throw me around the loop. I think when your heart and your brain align is really a good place to be in, and that lets you tap into your soul. Um, and I think that's ultimately where belief comes from, is knowing and feeling it in your soul that what you believe is true. Um, a couple things to be careful with when it comes to belief is, the more you believe something, the harder it is to cope with when it doesn't come to fruition. For me, that disappointment on the other side of belief, it's not big enough to scare you. It shouldn't be. Um, but the more you believe in something, the harder that disappointment would be if it were to not come true. Um, I've seen this over and over again where, you're so passionate enough about something that all of that energy that you were putting into it then turns into resentment. And it's a very hot to cold scenario there, where the fire is burning hot, and you're sold, and you don't feel like anything will ever tear you apart from that. And just with a little bit of doubt and distance, and maybe things not lining up, when you look at your head, your heart, and your soul, um, that can lead to it, definitely, where you're going from a super hot to cold scenario, and that just hurts. But stray far away from resentment, because that's ultimately where the thief wants you. Um, when you look at that negative energy, or that negative thought towards something or someone, the devil will feed off of that. And you really just want to be careful as to what you're putting in, because when you put good in, you get good out. When you put trash in, well, there you go. Right? I heard the analogy of a toothpaste canister in church a couple of times. So it was pretty funny, where, it's, hey, this is a toothpaste canister, right? What's in the toothpaste canister? Well, hopefully it's minty fresh and clean, but um, not if that's not what was bottled. That label can say whatever you want it to say, but if somebody's pulling a prank on you, that toothpaste may not taste right. And imagine going back to your toothpaste again after it tasted like orange juice last time. There would be a little bit of, doubt there, and a lack of belief. And, if fool me twice, there's going to be some resentment involved as well. So remember that the devil feeds off of the resentment, and the Lord is all about love and passion. Um, I think it's so cool how that comes true every time. You just put in that extra effort and that extra belief, and it's amazing what can be provided for you. This one's relevant to today and everyone getting gifts, and um, obviously that's not the whole reason for Christmas, but it seems to be a big part of what we celebrate. And um, if you don't get what you want, just know that it's coming. Sitting there thinking about it, just waiting on someone not to get what they want, because guess what? That's going to distance you from the love, the passion, and the belief that you created. And it's a scary place to be. It really is. Um, be careful on giving up on something and giving up your beliefs too early. I think this is not something that really applies to me. To be honest, my actions the last 3 weeks are the opposite. I've really exhausted every option, and turned out to look like a crazy person in my personal life. But uh, I needed that. I really needed to put everything I had into it, just so I wouldn't say what if. Because shoulda, woulda, coulda is never a good scenario to be in. And in order for me to turn the page, or go to the next chapter in my life, I need to exhaust all options. And if you know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry about that, but um, just know it was out of love. There was not an ounce of my body looking towards hate, or to make anyone feel like it was a jab at them. I really didn't want to put anyone under attack, but I did, full send. So with that, I'm basically going to leave you, with one of the most cliche quotes that we've heard in time. And that's, it's always darkest before the dawn. And I'm excited to see the sunshine. We'll see what happens, but continue to love others, and we're going to go from there. So Merry Christmas, and I hope you all have a wonderful time spent with loved ones and family.